and welcome to Aspen Affairs, the public affairs show from the Aspen Chamber Resort Association. I'm your host, Debbie Braun, President and CEO of the Aspen Chamber. You're watching Election 2024, Informed and Empowered. Our series on this fall's election, where we're highlighting voter resources, share key election information, and breaking down the issues you're going to find on your ballot. You can learn more and watch all the episodes online at aspenchamber.org/elections. Today's guest is Ingrid Grueter, Pitkin County Clerk and Recorder. Ingrid and her team have a huge job of overseeing our local elections, and we're grateful she's here giving us some of her time today. Welcome. How you doing? How many days left? 36, 34?
5 weeks.
5 weeks, I like that.
5 weeks.
I'm already down to the days. I'm really kind of excited.
Yes.
Yes.
I was counting days, and then I heard 5 weeks this morning, and I'll go with that.
I'll go with 5 weeks. Let's start with the basics. When can people expect to receive their ballots, and what options are there for casting ballots this year?
Okay, the ballots will be mailed out on October 15th. If you're leaving town and you need to come into our office to pick up a replacement ballot, you can do so. You need to bring your ID. You can only get your ballot. You can't get your spouse or family members. They have to come in themselves. To return the ballots, make sure you sign the envelope, and make sure you sign your envelope, not someone else in the in your household.
Okay.
And we recommend that you use the drop boxes, because sometimes we don't trust the post office so much.
You don't trust the post office to actually get it there in time, not that they're
Exactly.
doing anything nefarious.
Exactly,
Okay.
not doing anything nefarious.
Yeah.
It's just that sometimes the ballots
It's a little
don't make
slow.
it to us until after the election, and that's
Okay.
always sad.
Yeah, and there's lots of drop boxes.
So the drop box in front of the Pitkin County Administration Building is open now, and then on the 15th, the day that the ballots go out, we will open the drop box at the Snowmass Village Town Hall and the Basalt Town Hall.
My daughter goes to university in Europe and still wants to vote. How does she get her ballot?
My daughter does as well. You sign up for an overseas ballot.
Overseas
and you
ballot.
can do that online when I think you have a question about registration. I can explain that then.
Okay, perfect.
And yes, so the in-person voting starts in the administration building on Monday, October 21st, goes through the day before Election Day, Monday through Friday, 8:30 to 4:30. We will also have early voting on the Saturday, which is November 2nd, from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m.
Okay.
So you can avoid the work week hassle and come join us. We might even have some muffins or something there that day.
Food does attract people, so you better have those muffins.
Yes. And then Election Day, of course, 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. at the Pitkin County Administration Building, at the at Snowmass Village Town Hall, and at the Basalt Library.
Okay.
Yeah.
If someone isn't sure if they've registered or if their registration's up to date, like let's say they just moved here and they're registered in a different county, how can they check that, and what do they do, or what do they need available in order to register?
They can go to pitkinvotes.com and to check their registration, or they can come into our office and we're happy to help them, and we have the paperwork there. If you want to check to make sure your address is current, because ballots are not, by law, are not forwardable by the U.S. Post Office.
Oh, okay.
So, and if you have a returned ballot that's returned to us as undeliverable, or if you haven't voted in a while, you could be in an inactive status as a voter. And we have almost 2,000 inactive voters, so I think it'd be a very good idea for people to check their registration.
2,000 inactive.
Yeah, inactive. So they don't automatically get ballots because we don't know if they're really still around.
Right. And what was the website you mentioned?
Pitkinvotes.com.
Pitkinvotes.com, and that's where you can go to see if you're good to go.
Yes,
Okay.
yes.
This is, did you know it's a presidential election year? And that comes with a lot of rhetoric surrounding election accuracy and security. Can you tell me what Pitkin County does to make sure that all the ballots are counted and nothing is tampered with?
Okay. Well, first of all, Every county in Colorado has to participate in and pass a pre-election voting system accuracy test and a post-election audit. We do background checks on all of our election judges. They also swear an oath, and they work in bipartisan teams, both for in-person and mail ballot processing. I always say bipartisan teams working in a non-partisan fashion.
Yeah.
Our drop boxes and our voting system are all under 24/7 video surveillance. From our ballot pickup at the drop boxes through the ballot tabulation, we have a strict chain of custody with bipartisan teams of judges signing off on each transfer of the ballots. The signatures on all the mail ballot envelopes go through 2 rounds of signature verification by the bipartisan teams. We're checking their signatures against all the signatures that we have in their voter record on file. Once a signature has been approved, the ballot is marked as accepted in the statewide system, and if you have signed up for ballot tracks, you'll get the notification. Our voting equipment, our servers, our counting machines are all, none of them are connected to the internet and cannot be accessed outside our counting room where they reside, and that room is heavily secured with restricted access. Anything else, you can call our office. We're happy to walk you through it.
Okay.
Yeah.
That sounds great. And I think it's important that our community understands all the things that you are doing and the team is doing to make sure that we run a fair election.
Yes.
So thank you so much. But along those lines, you also have resources on your website about spotting and avoiding misinformation. I thought that section was so amazing. I went through there just to kind of reacquaint myself because there seems to be a lot of misinformation out there. Can you share some of those tips with us?
Sure. And just to sort of recap, the mis, dis, and malinformation can be information that's either simply false and gets shared. It can be information that's used out of context to manipulate, or it can be deliberately created to mislead. It's spread through mainstream media, social media, word of mouth, online forums, etc. And of course, the advent of AI has made it all that much easier to have happen.
Right.
These can be, it can be state-sponsored. Russia, China, and Iran have all been proven to be behind some of this, but it can also be domestic extremist groups, scammers, and cyber criminals. They do it to create chaos, confusion, division, or just degrade confidence in our institutions and processes. How to combat it is basically verify your information before you share it. Use trusted sources, and you can go again to our pitkinvotes.com, or you can also visit govotecolorado.gov for accurate information on registering voting results. Understand how elections are conducted, as we just shared in the previous question. And our department's always happy to answer your questions. You could also sign up with your party chair as a watcher and come watch the process on Election Day. There's a couple of examples. There's been a lot of talk about non-citizens voting or registering to vote, and they can't. You have, when you register to vote, you need an ID. Anyone who has an ID card then that is a non-citizen, there's a very visible bar on the top of it that they're not a citizen. Other people think if you get a hold of 2 ballots, they can vote both of them, and that is not possible either, because once we've accepted one ballot in the voter system under a person's name, that's it. If they try to do more, they actually end up getting a visit from the DA.
I bet, yeah.
So, yes.
Well, our community is very fortunate that we're small enough where I think you could pick the phone up and call somebody and get the accurate information you need. It really is incumbent upon all of us to make sure that we're informed about this upcoming local election. I really appreciate you taking the time today. I know you're pretty busy. There's a lot going on. But the goal would be to get as many Pitkin County voters out there voting for local ballot initiatives as well as our national. So thank you so much for joining us. You're watching this episode of Aspen Affairs 2024, Informed and Empowered. Again, I'm Debbie Braun, President and CEO of the Aspen Chamber. I've actually been having a wonderful time talking to people and learning more myself. You can watch all of these episodes and learn more about our local election and check your voter registration online at aspenchamber.org/elections. Thank you, GrassRoots. Mwah! Your support means the world, and make sure you all get out and vote, because guess what? Your vote does count. Thanks. Have a great day.